Hi, it's Roni, and welcome to my channel and the Mixed Media Frenzy, where we all take the same sketch or layout and use it as inspiration to create our own. I stuck a lot closer to it than I do some. Mine is going to be one on a boat. It looked kind of like a pontoon, but they said it was called a tritoon. Yeah, it's just bigger because they have a big family. Anyway, mine's going to be on a lake, whereas I think it's the ocean in the photo, and it's my granddaughter's photo that I'm using. The colors are going to be a lot alike the same ones that are up there, and of course it's because of the water, and that water is just so pretty. And it's a lake up there by Branson, and I thought, well, I want to get close to that color since they're both going to be sitting right there together. And the colors were the blues and the teals and just a little bit of green. I wanted to kind of mix the green here and there so it wouldn't be like a solid color. You can kind of tell which ones are the green because they're lighter and they're the first layer that I put on, and it's kind of peeking out in between some of the other layers. And I'm mixing some white in there too. I've got that stamp that looks like bubbles, and I was kind of experimenting. I thought, well, how will it look if I stamp it in the ink? So it kind of got stuff on my ink pad, which is all right. I have no problem with that because, if I'm using that color, it's still going to work no matter what comes out on there. And I'm not sure if I liked it or not. It looked okay, but it didn't show up really good at all. And the stamps that I'm using are cling stamps. So I have my block there, and then I have one stamp on each side so I can just flip it over and use the other one whenever I want to use it. And they're called Stamps by Marlene #5. And they have lots of mixed media stamps in there. I'm thinking it was 18 that is in there. And I have not used them all. I've been using my favorites out of there. And this one here has just like little speckles that are kind of uneven and spaced different spaces apart. And I'm just kind of thinking of sand when I'm putting that on there. So I'm using two brown colors. The one for the long stamp is bamboo, so it's a very light brown. And then the other one is desert sand, by close to my heart. And they're not a whole lot different. It's just that one's a shade darker. Well, maybe two shades. Maybe. Not much though. But they are really similar in colors. And I pulled out my chicken wire stencil, and you can tell it's chicken wire. If you look at it really close, you can see where the wires are wound around each other in it because it's kind of lumpy there. But it's really delicate, so you got to be careful when you use it. And almost always you have to use that brush instead of sponge. I tried it with the sponge before I ever got a brush, and it would move way too easy because it is kind of on the flimsy side. But it's so cute when you get done with it. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I'm needing brighter colors. That water that's in the picture, it needs to show up just a little bit more. And so I thought I'm going to put my speckles on there. And so yeah, I'm putting them on there. And then the more I look at that on that piece of paper, I think, huh, I need to put some smooshing on there and get really bright colors. So right over the top of my speckles, yeah, I thought, well, the speckles will still be there. And if I need more, I can always speckle more. But yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I need more sand now. So yeah, you add a little bit more and you got to add a lot more. You got to keep going. So that's what I'm doing. I just kept going and adding more. And so my sand is going to come out farther than it did before, and it is darker. And I am going to stamp over it some more before it's all said and done. But yeah, I expanded it, which I really needed to do. As big as my picture is compared to theirs. And the person who created the layout, the original one, she's on the Finna Bear design team. And they make a lot of mixed media products, some really cool looking ones too, where you can like have a whole set just to make stuff look aged, and you just buy the whole set. And they do have videos showing you how to use it. I was looking at the layout and it does have bubbles on there, so I thought, well, I'll cut out a couple of them. And I did, and I put them on there. And I come in here after I got done with my video, took my pictures, everything, and started editing the video. And the more I looked at it, the more I thought I needed more. Yeah, more bubbles. So the pictures in at the end, they're going to have one more thing of the bubbles on there, just because I thought I needed more. Yeah, I just liked them. So yeah, they're on there. So I went back in there, put them on there, and retook the photos and put them at the end of the video. But the video itself don't have them. And the original layout has layers behind the photo, and I thought, well, hers are brown. I decided to go, which, I was tempted. I decided to go with the teal and add just a little bit more teal or aqua color. I do have that card there with the wood grain chevron things going across there. And then I'm going to add some yellow and white twine. So I will have a couple other colors in there, just not a whole lot. And I've got like a handful, pretty good size handful, but it's just a handful of pocket cards, and I've got them in a drawer right next to me. And I keep telling myself to use them and forgetting. Well, when I was trying to decide what to use for this layout for my layers behind there, I thought, well, I'm going to look in there and see what I can find. Well, I found that tag, which it was just plain white. And then I also found two of I think they're both 3x4 cards. And so I am going to use them for layering on there. They're not quite big enough just to put behind there and go on each side of the photo. But if I go ahead and cut them in half, and stretch them just a little bit, they work. And I didn't want to put too much because, the whole idea of mixed media frenzy is to use some mixed media. So when I got done, I thought, oh, I thought I wasn't putting too much till I laid it on the layout. I went ahead and left it. I thought about tucking it in some more, but then the documented would show, but not the chevrons. And I decided just to go for it and put them on there. I pulled out my stamps again because everything got a little bit dry while I was doing the other stuff. It's not perfectly dry, but I'm going ahead and using it anyway. And I'm stamping more of the area that I wanted sand to be with those little dots. And I'm not pushing it down all the way, and I'm catching like either the front or the back or the middle when I do it, so it's a little bit of variety instead of all being the same thing. And then I'm using the stamp that, well, they kind of remind me of little spiders. But that's what they remind me of, so I might as well tell you that's what they remind me of. They print out, maybe they're starbursts or fireworks. They look like they got a lot of little legs, but I am stamping them here and there too. And yeah, they remind me of spiders. I'm looking at them again. That's what they remind me of. But I think it's cute as far as adding to the layers on the mixed media. But I went ahead and painted my bubbles, and I just used what was left from painting the background on the layout. So they are the same colors. It's just that on the bubbles it's lighter because I didn't have much left in that container. So I had a little more water, so it made them look lighter. But I'm cutting them apart to make them go a little farther. And it's not a super fancy bubble dye. They got them all straight there together. But I was happy when I found it. I just cut it apart when I need to do that. And that's what I'm going to do when I go back in there and do the other one. It's going to get cut apart and just placed over the mixed media area just to add a little more interest in all those places. And I'm putting foam tape underneath my photo and everything else that's there so that I can do some tucking underneath a little bit easier when I go to tucking, which will be the bubbles is all, and some sequins, I think, is what I put is all I tuck under there. And I'm trying to make my twine go the way I want it to go. And see, I liked it right there the way it was just a second ago. But now I had to mess with it and make it a little bit different. And somehow or another, when I went back in there, it looks even more different than it did before. I got these little glass dome looking little things. They kind of remind me of dewdrops. And I think there's 3 sizes in there, and I'm going to scatter them around the page before I add the sequins. So I'm using a glossy accent since they are clear, and I went ahead and used it for the sequins. I had a few come off last time, so I will be watching it. Maybe I didn't put enough on those few, so I'm going to go ahead and use it because I used to use it all the time. And so I thought, well, I order a bottle. Well, I didn't look at the ounces. I just threw it in to make my bag, cart, whatever it is, be the price for free shipping because I thought I can always use it. Uh, my title's just going to be Summer, and it's from Ellie Studio, and it's acrylic. And I've had it for a long time. I don't know how long, several years anyway. And I thought I need to start using some of them. I happened to think of it because I was trying to figure out what did I want to use on this layout besides letters that I cut out, and where would I put them except down there in the big empty spot. But I didn't want it down there. I wanted something that would go over part of the photo. And this worked perfectly. And the word summer was pretty good too. But if you look down there below, you'll see all the other gals that are doing the Mixed Media Frenzy this week and see what they used on their layout and if they stuck pretty close to the original, which I kind of sort of think I did this time, or if they totally went rogue, which happens. Yeah, you get to doing the layout, and a lot of times my problem with going rogue is I'll forget I'm following a sketch. And I'll be thinking, okay, I need to do this or I want to do that or whatever, and then I go rogue. It's not usually on purpose. But if you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. And of course, thank you for watching. Try your hand at it and post your layout in the Mixed Media Frenzy group on Facebook. But have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.